we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Yeah, so here we are.
People definitely know who you are at this point,
Okay,
man.
well,
That's where it all began.
now that we're live, I want to give you guys a clap. Proud of you guys. Look at you guys. We've got a bigger studio now. I say this the first thing ever say when I come to see you guys. I was like, it all started on a phone
It
in
did.
a fucking living room of an apartment.
But people need to understand. Our listeners know the importance that you were
Yeah.
a part of our success and how we got to this point. Because there's no question, if it wasn't for Jamie Roerick, that we'd be sitting in this badass studio, doing what we're doing, taking DCPC to the next level. The support that you showed us, with only paying a bottle of whiskey to rent a month.
I was just about to say, my liver is paying for it right now.
But it's true, man. It was the opportunity that we were provided to be able to do that is why we're here, Jamie.
No,
And that's why it's so great to have you back
That's
full
why
circle.
we're friends, dude. I mean, that's why I had the house. I mean, that's why, that's what we did. We went and we did that stuff down there. We did the same thing. We had our apartments and we all met. I mean, that's what we do.
I know it's just we're fortunate and we recognize it, man. And I know you don't like to hear all the compliments and accolades, but it's the fact. DCPC wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for the opportunity that you presented both of us, man,
Well,
and helped
I
us out.
appreciate that, but I mean,
So we're gonna get you an applause because, man, equally alike, dude.
I appreciate that, but I'm not going to take all the credit for it because, I mean, as motivated as the two of you are, I mean, you guys would have figured it out anyway. So,
I mean, maybe.
and for one, I was getting free whiskey. I mean, come on. I
Yeah.
mean, how was I? I mean, I wasn't losing.
But you had to put up with our dumbasses every week in your basement, intruding on your family life. Here comes the DCPC boys tromping into your basement.
Oh, I'm pretty. There were some exciting moments.
There was some exciting moments, but I'm sure there was nights like, fuck, I forgot these guys are going to be here.
Well, no, where there was just some exciting moments.
Hey, man, it's always fun to look back on the old episodes. I love going back and looking at the old studio because it brings me so much joy to see how this all started. How much
And the
fun we
wall,
had down there.
dude. The wall was so epic.
The wall
and
everyone
guests-
signed.
I still think you
Yeah.
guys should take a picture of that, get it blown up, and still have people sign on it.
Yeah.
Like with permanent marker, on a, put it on one of the walls in here or something.
Yeah, the only thing we brought from the old studio, Jamie, was obviously these, right? These were down in the old studio. And then, of course, the picture here on the opposite side, on the north side here, which has the wall behind it, Jamie. We brought a little bit of it
Yeah,
back.
there is a wall there. Yeah.
Jamie got so tired of seeing that picture, which I know the viewers can't see right now.
I know, but I had to walk downstairs where I was trying to be a rock star and stare at your guys' two faces every time.
But we were smiling.
I mean,
Like,
it was
we
a
were-
big, big. I was that.
Yeah.
Picture. I mean, it was a big picture. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't like
We made it known.
Yeah.
We made it known, and I wouldn't. I'd
Well,
get tired of looking
we
at
had
me
to
too.
advertise the stairwell because look.
Can they see that picture?
No, the viewers cannot
I
see
mean,
that.
if you guys would see this picture, it looks like they're like trying out for like some like action movie or a really cheap porn. That's what it looks like. They're
I think
trying
that's a
out for.
fair assessment. I mean, it's the old DCPC logo for sure, with your wall behind it, Jamie. I mean, there's some epic moments on that wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody loved signing it when we would whip out the Sharpie at the end.
It was exciting.
And then people would look and they'd be like, "Oh shit, where am I gonna sign this big?" They'd like comb the whole wall. Where do you think's a good spot? They would always ask and stuff.
Yeah. Where should I sign?
Fun traditions, man.
It's still there. I mean, it's still there until we sell the house.
Oh, we're gonna need to cut that thing out.
Maybe we like get a concrete company out there and see what we can do, and like maybe cut the wall out and get a crane. And
Where are we gonna put that?
I mean, when you guys become billionaires for doing your podcast, I mean, maybe you can have it craned out and you have a placard set.
I would support that.
I mean, hey, to preserve history, it's something. I mean, when you're looking, that's what's fun about history and pictures and things like the wall is like they hold like the sentimental value. And when you go back and look at it, like it brings up all these memories and like all these emotions that you're feeling back then and stuff. And
Kelly and I were just putting some stuff down there the other day, and she was asking questions about it. I was like, well, anybody that came down here in this basement signed that wall. I mean,
yeah,
It was an epic basement.
Yeah.
There was so much going on down there. I mean,
before
that's
the
what,
podcast
with
Way
Explosive, with the Ridge Runners, with all the great stuff we did down there.
You know what the crazy thing is, and I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Remember when I first got the house? We all went over there, and I had a can of green construction paint. And remember we what did I write in the? But I remember K-Bat in big green letters.
Yeah.
You know, and
And then it just kind of got written over time.
Yeah, I mean,
No, I
it
do
was-
remember that.
I mean, we were so happy to have a place, because before it was like this little corner. You guys remember?
Oh, yeah.
It was this little corner in our apartments that we would do everything that we did. You know.
It was a big upgrade going from 469, where really a lot of
Studio 469. Yeah.
a lot of our creative ideas came from there. We even tried to mess around with podcasting then, Jamie. I mean, you, me, and Mark would sit down and record us being idiots, which is basically all we do now. Nothing's changed. It just looks better, right? The same shit. We wanted to do it then.
Yeah, I still have like all that stuff. The computer isn't set up, but I still have the computer. You know.
Remember Mike Cole singing Monkey Nuts with
Yeah.
Matt Boardman?
Yeah, I remember our brother Mike Trimble farting on the mic.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Epic moments.
yeah, we have all that stuff.
I love the Beer Buddy song.
Oh, that's
Like,
epic. We're going to include that in the show notes.
Yeah, that needs to go down there. The Beer Buddies.
Beer Buddies was a total accident.
I mean,
It was like when
your
we first-
vocals on that
yeah.
second to none.
I learned two chords on a guitar. My first 2 chords I ever learned, we wrote Beer Buddies.
I mean, what can we say in this show?
Everything.
It was like one of the few times I got high.
Okay. Okay.
That's right. You
And
were
I was
super
sitting,
baked.
I was sitting on the couch in my living room, and Kevin was playing guitar. Mark was on the computer, and we went and bought this mic.
Yeah.
You know,
Audioteca.
and, yeah, and
Okay.
that's how it all. I mean, it was one take, one done, and then Kevin put pictures to it, and yeah, it just-
Classic.
yeah, it was pretty.
We were
classic.
pretty excited to see it all come together.
Yeah.
And Mark did pretty good with his, because he was like kind of the producer at the time. I didn't know how to do any of that shit then.
Yeah.
So he put it all together. Good old
Well, I
Marky
don't
Mark.
think Mark knew what he was doing either, but Mark loved like messing with stuff.
He
and
loved to figure it out.
Yes,
Yep.
he loved to figure it
And
out.
he loved just being, he didn't want to be the guy that was in front of the camera. He just wanted to be the guy that put it all together.
Well, you
He's
remember
like
when we
the
put him in
tinker
front
guy.
of the camera? Remember we had the
the xylophone.
The xylophone. Oh, that was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
We need to
in
find
my
that video.
entire life.
That was
Wow, I don't think
tremendous.
I've seen that one.
Oh, it was tremendous.
Guys?
Mark's playing the xylophone. We're
With
playing
one stick.
with one stick, and you could see Mark starting to lose the rhythm a little
Yeah.
bit, and he just got really frustrated,
He's like,
What?
and it was so funny. It was perfect.
That's a great
I
video.
would love to see that video.
We need to dig that up
Is
for
that
sure.
where is that?
I don't even know.
It's got to
I
be
can
one.
picture it though in my head.
I know it's got to be on somebody's Google account somewhere because it was on the computer at one time. I remember having. It's got to be somewhere. I mean, everything has a cloud, so it's got to be.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
I think it's somewhere in your cloud. It's got to be because it was all recorded on your shit.
It could be. I have to look honestly.
Yeah. We'll have to dig into that one time. But cleaning out the basement, that you were mentioning to me, off mic and a couple days ago that we need to get down there. You're going to get a roll-off dumpster, and we need to go through some of that stuff.
Well, none
Old-
of the
old
good
good-
stuff, but
Well, yeah, I mean, we got
there's,
Ridge Runners
there's,
equipment.
there's like a storage room of like Budweiser boxes.
I know. I
And-
kind of stashed them in there to make it look cleaner than it really was.
I know. I went in there to put stuff in there. I was like, motherfucker.
You like open it up for the first time and the longest time. You're like, what the hell is this? What are they trying to build a cardboard fort?
Right?
There was a lot of beer boxes stored in
That's
there.
funny.
Guitar cases. The original DCPC table still probably in there. That black
Still there.
fold-out
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
I mean,
everything that was put in there, furniture-wise or equipment, is still there. I mean,
we're going to need to go through that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've called you twice, going, "Hey, do you want to sell this PA? Because we split the PA in half. You want to sell this thing, or
What are we going to? We should probably. We're going to need it at some point. I feel like, especially if we,
I know
the second
it.
you sell it is when you're gonna.
'Cause we
need
because you
it.
could, yeah, you could do so much stuff with it, right? I mean, you could do so much stuff with that.
well,
thing.
and we're still talking about maybe bringing back the acoustic Ridge Runners, right? Just you and me goofing off.
you could, yeah, one day. You know?
I mean, so we can talk about that more off mic, but I think it's good to think about. My intuition tells me we shouldn't get rid of the PA.
Well, it's not costing us any money right now.
That's
Right.
true,
Because one thing about music equipment is paid for.
dude. Once you pay for it, man,
Yeah,
just
yeah, I mean,
hold on to it because
it's
you know
all there.
it depreciates, and I mean, you're gonna need the PA.
It's going to come in handy for something at some point in some time. You're going to be like, damn it, I shouldn't have got rid of the PA.
We're going to have to spend a lot of money going to get cleaned up because it's been sitting in the exact same
know.
spot it was when we. our
So
last-
what if it just gets dusted or something? Then
Oh, if dust, all the like faders and stuff get all scratchy. Yeah, it's going to be terrible. Yeah,
Well,
Gotcha.
we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, I guess. But
but all that stuff's still there. Yeah. All the
memories.
cords, all the mics, all that stuff.
The Ridge Runner banner.
Yeah, it's still. Oh, I was supposed to bring that tonight. Yeah.
That's all right. Where I don't even know if it would fit in here.
Right behind you. I think it'd be epic.
Right over here, you think? Just right behind.
There may be some room we could like,
The hearts are like,
you know. I mean, I'm down for
I'll
all
put it
the
in my garage
memorabilia.
nonetheless. It'd be cool to have the Ridge Runner stuff in here just as a piece of memorabilia.
I think it would fit perfect right there.
Right behind us.
Yeah, just right there.
Yeah, well, I don't know about all
Yeah,
that.
I don't know
Jamie.
about
Your
that one
brother
either.
designed it.
Well, and that's great. He got paid, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Excellent.
He definitely profited
We're
off the
moving
Ridge
on.
Runners. And look, you know, things were going well, and then COVID kind of fucked us all.
Yeah, and
You
I
know?
remember sending one message. I was like, "Hey, you know, what do you guys want to do?" And I got nothing.
Well, and you know, that was a time we were searching for a new drummer, and then just things kind of fell apart.
I thought we had one at that point.
Well, we were sitting down with a guy. He seemed like a pretty nice feller. We never really auditioned with him or anything like that, but that was kind of the nail in the casket for the Ridge Runners at that time. You know,
Was
and,
it losing the drummer?
well,
Always a
and,
drummer or bass player.
and as you know, our listener knows, Screaming Pete. We love Screaming Pete. He's moving on to Sin on Six. Sin on Six doing some great things. Matter of fact, they're opening up for THC again
Awesome.
at a show coming up in Parker, which we're going to be at.
Where's that? The
What was it called, Fred? The Wild Goose or
yeah,
some Goose?
yeah, that new place.
Yeah. Wild Goose Saloon,
yeah.
Sin
The new
on
place.
6, May. I think it's like May 21st, 22nd. THC's going to be there. We're going to be there.
Yeah, we're going.
You know, yeah.
Sin on 6, we're going.
I've been there. It's a nice place.
I have not been there yet.
It's very roomy. Like you have a ton of headspace, you know, and it's good. They got the smoker out in the back and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
they got couple different bar settings where people are sitting. Yeah, it's a cool place.
And you know, it's only about a half a mile south of the tailgate. You know,
yeah, Parker's not
for reference.
lacking any
I
bars.
say right next to the Del Taco.
Yeah, I mean, but again, a lot of people listening don't even know where the hell Parker, Colorado is. But to put that in perspective, I mean, it's kind of a new bar that's taken over, you know, a music scene south of the tailgate, right? Because these guys have been known for 6-7 nights of music a week. Now these guys are coming in, and they're offering a great venue. I'm surprised they got THC come in.
It's a big venue. It's
I
nice.
mean, that's what they built it for. You
Right.
know? I mean, when I was going to Parker every day, that's what we heard.
Yeah,
I was there one time. It's a nice place.
I haven't been there yet. Art said he went. He said a little pricey.
You know, the drinks were a little spendy, and you know, just for whatever normal drinks, you're gonna pay a couple extra bucks there, but whatever. It's a newer
Well, I think
building.
that's
That's
everything
how they do it, man.
nowadays.
Everything's
Yeah.
expensive, bro.
Everything's expensive.
It is.
Everything.
Everything's taking price. I mean, it's you know, as a Bud Light drinker, you know, that's gone up. I'm in the alcohol business. We're dealing with price increases almost monthly. Everything's taking price.
Yeah, but I'm in
it's-
transportation, and the truck drivers are trying to charge more, and there's less warehouse workers, so there's more demand, and it's
It's a shit show, man.
This whole thing is volatile right now.
Yes, I mean, something's got to change here pretty soon. I mean, it's going to take the average person to make $100,000 a year here pretty soon just to have a comfortable life.
Yeah,
For sure.
Just to be able to afford a 2-bedroom apartment and you know put some groceries in the pantry.
Yeah, it's getting a little out of control.
Stressful times, but like everybody out there, you know, and I know all of us in here are working hard and staying strong and trying to do the right thing, but we just got to keep moving forward. And you've been making some progress in life too, man. Like since we stopped recording in the basement at your place, you've gotten a new job, making more money, awesome relationships going good, like things are happening. So tell us a little bit about that, so people could like get the Jamie success energy going.
Got a new job, making probably double the money.
Excellent.
Got to travel more. You know, there is some
The opportunities though.
possibility.
Seeing some
outstate
fun.
stuff, right?
I remember I talked to you in Oklahoma. You were excited about that.
Yeah, I went to Oklahoma. You know, it's the first time I had to, you know, like really go out of town for work, and that was nice.
That is fun,
Got a wonderful girl in my life. That's probably since the last time.
and she's awesome.
She
love Kelly.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Kelly's amazing. Other than that, I mean, yeah, just trying to keep on the straight and narrow and move forward. Got new teeth.
Hey man, they look good.
They do look good.
They look good.
Wait until you see the permanent ones.
I'm excited to see the permanent ones.
I tell everybody, I was like, as soon as I get the permanent ones, lock the women at home. 'Cause they're all mine.
I'm feeling.
Rorik still got it.
Rorik still got it. We have a teeth moment, Jamie, because I did veneers. You know, about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, whatever it's been. So I'm
I
feeling
know.
good.
When we were talking in front, I was like, dude, I got new teeth. And you're like, yeah, me too.
Yeah, that's a teeth moment.
Yeah.
So exciting stuff, man.
We brought this up off camera. I got to talk about this. I've never had a tooth pulled at a dentist. So they give you all these shots in your mouth to numb you up, and then at least my dentist, I want to call it like a pry bar. He made me bite on this thing on one side of my face, and he started prying up on my tooth, and you don't feel it, but you hear all the
bone
grinding,
the sounds
starting
and all,
to separate.
You know, the ripping.
I don't like that.
Per se, you know.
You can probably still hear it ringing, huh?
And then they're like, "Do you want to see them?" I was like, "Well, yeah, they're my teeth. I want to see them." And dude, it is amazing how long teeth roots are.
Oh, they're big.
It is
They
absolutely.
go well
amazing.
below the
Yeah.
gum line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is crazy to me. And they're showing me all the nastiness that was in it. Was crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, dental health. So I have kind of a thing that I haven't aired out publicly just yet.
Uh-oh.
But, you know, I was...
It's true.
Listen, like, so I firmly believe that, like, Adderall and methamphetamines weaken your like the calcium in your body or something, and weaken your bones, okay? And here's why. Here's my theory why. It's because I had partook in some stuff, and then the next morning, right? Like I'm not like
Those beautiful blue eyes.
I'm not
Did
like
so much stuff.
hey, I'm not like super overtaken. Like I'm good to go the next day. So I go to one of my favorite bagel places, bacon, schmear on a bagel, and I was eating it, loving it, and the bacon fucking chipped one of my back teeth. It just chipped a piece of my tooth off, and so like, dog, it was gone, and I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then weeks later, maybe I partook again. And then I ate bacon again, and the bacon chipped more of that tooth off.
Same tooth?
Same tooth.
So the moral of the story is don't eat bacon and do drugs at the same
Wait a
time.
minute.
I know. I don't think I could have more. I don't think I'm allowed to eat bacon anymore. But
How crispy was that bacon, though?
it was crispy bacon. It was.
I
Crispy
know,
bacon.
but how bad is bacon though? I mean, you get it too crisp, it just kind of like powderizes in your mouth.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
feel the grease just
Yeah,
evaporating.
but anything other than that is just like,
The bacon did.
Well, and you know how bacon can kind of be tough to like chew through sometimes. Like it's like thick, and it's not completely crunchy, but it definitely is resistant.
I like it
But
when it's like that.
I mean,
It's
I
like-
love bacon, and that's the problem, man. But I noticed that around the area where the chips happened, there was like a cavity fill in, like from back in the day.
So it kind of weakened the tooth a little bit.
I'm
and then,
thinking that's
okay.
so it's probably has nothing to do with methamphetamines. I'm just going through how my thought process was working.
You did meth?
You never did meth, did you?
No, I didn't
It was
do
a
that.
secret up until then.
No, I did not do meth. We're talking about, Snow White and the Adderall Angel. I don't know.
There's things out there, yeah.
Yeah, a whole lot of ibuprofen.
But you were saying, Jamie, that even with, because, you're at this point now, with my veneers, my teeth are still worse than yours in theory because you had 0 cavities in your teeth is what you're saying.
That's what they said. Yes,
That's incredible.
They said if I would have kept up on regular dental stuff, that I would have a perfect mouth. I mean, my teeth were crooked just because of braces and my wisdom teeth, but cavity, yeah, no cavities.
That is impressive.
Teeth were strong, bone not so much.
It's kind of funny how that works. It's either one or the other, I feel like.
Right.
You get this, but you don't have that. You don't get the whole package. What are you doing over there?
Nothing.
He's playing with my thing.
He's pushing that mic in.
I was just trying to. Oh, and I put my face right in front of the camera. See, I was trying to avoid just that.
That's where you should have gone with the 4 shot on all of us, I feel like.
Sometimes it's we're always playing with stuff in here, and
I kind of liked it. I don't get my thing played with a whole lot. So.
oh come on, you just said everything was going so
Yeah,
good.
that's true. You did.
Oh, what about you guys? I mean, exciting news. I mean, look at you guys. I mean,
Yeah.
tell me about your guys. I mean, do you guys talk about yourself quite a bit, or?
I
I don't
mean,
think too much. I mean,
we're just having fun, man.
Yeah.
It's just a good ride, and I had a lot of fun putting that for anyone that listens or watches us on social media. I had a lot of fun putting that promo clip together last night for you coming on the show.
oh, I love that.
I did
Where-
see it.
where it all
did
began.
I
see
love
yeah.
that. It is
It's
where
epic.
it began.
Yeah.
And it was important to note that, and that's why it's so fun to have you back on the show. You're the second guest in the new studio, so you know, it's good to have you back.
Number 2.
Well, no, he was just asking about us though, and now you just flipped
Yeah,
it.
I mean, yeah.
And you're
Well, no.
talking about to.
Now that I
So
found out I'm number 2.
look, I
Well,
can
no, I wouldn't say he's number 2, but it was good to get him back on the schedule because what happened was we reached out to Jamie. We moved in the new studio, right? And we're like, hey, man, we're excited. We got to keep you in the loop.
I know, but Kevin, you text me like, I bet you at least once a month and go, hey, we're doing this or we got this. And
we got to keep Jamie in the loop.
I know. And I'm like, nice. I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, congratulations.
Well, I like to keep you in the loop.
Attaboy, nice.
Attaboy.
You're a part of the
I like
journey.
that.
I understand that, but I mean, you know, you guys are. I mean, things are going so fast. It's like I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I
they're-
feel like I'm always saying the same thing. Nice. I don't know what else.
Just it's important to keep you in the loop, man. I want
No,
you-
I want to be in the loop.
because again, where it all began.
Right.
You know, you were a part of how it's all progressing, so it's always good to keep you in the loop. And we called you up that night. I think it was a video call or whatever it was, and you're like, well, when the fuck you guys are gonna have me back on? And at that point, the schedule had already been booked before we even moved into here, right? So it was like, okay, boom, here it is.
Well, I'll tell you, man. It's been a little over a year since I've touched any of those opiate bullshit pills. So
Let's go ahead and give that a round of
So
applause.
that's been something personal that I've really enjoyed. Thank you. And I don't say it for the applause. I just
Nope.
say it's for the recognition.
Well, no,
You know?
I'll applaud you just because I know
You saw me on that shit
I know
too.
you.
Yeah,
and
like I was.
We're like family, so I will applaud you on
Yeah,
that.
so that's been big for me, and with that has come growth at my day job as a logistics broker. Like I've been getting a team, and I know this is kind of
Speaking of growth,
yeah. What is it? Belly?
yeah.
Really? I thought I've been
Both of
I
us.
thought I've been tightening that out.
No, I'm looking at both you guys like, wow.
Hey,
Success is
we're
like
not
working
the
for
we're
you
not
guys.
the only ones, okay?
We're not talking about me right now. I'm talking about you guys. I said, how you guys doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm 6 months.
It's going on 8.
Shit, I'm like 12 months in this, dude. I've been growing that.
No, I mean, congratulations. I mean, that's awesome. Yes. I have seen you. Yes.
No,
It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean and it's really like solidifying my days. Like it's like I have a new mentality, like a new lease on life almost, and so like I appreciate everything much more right now than I ever have appreciated the current ever. And I could talk to you about all that stuff.
Well,
you
no,
know?
just not being in a daze all the time is kind of nice.
Dude, it's so nice.
It's waking up and knowing exactly what you got to do every day and getting it done and getting it done.
So I've been filling in the void though, and let me kind of explain this this idea of the void, because like for 12 years I would hunt down pills, I would look forward to it, I would lie to people about going to get them, like that was my priority, right? So like it was a huge part of my life, and then once you cut it out, like then that there's a void there, like then there's like this big emptiness, and so I've been trying to fill that in, and one thing that's really filled it in is vacuuming, is cleaning.
I did not know that's where that was going.
And drinking, hence the belly.
Yes.
So there's other
Drinking
things
and cleaning.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you just cover one crutch up with another. I mean, I recently have picked up cigarettes again.
Oh no.
No, not like
Come
like
on,
What do you
man.
mean, how
not,
often?
Not like every 15 minutes, but like a couple a day. You know, just.
But is it? Do you feel like it's one of those things where
What was that?
do you like drinking amplifies it, or like? Let me ask you this: do you want a cigarette right now?
No, because
don't?
I'm calm. It's when I'm stressed or things get
So
like
it's more of like a work thing rather than hey, I only smoke
yes.
when I drink.
When I'm at work, yes, I want to smoke.
Okay.
But when I'm at home, I'm with Kelly hates it.
Well, yeah, it smells like shit.
Well, yeah,
It
and
really does.
to talk about smoking, it's menthol cigarettes,
What?
Marlboro menthols.
What happened?
I don't know, it's what everybody at work was smoking, and I just picked it up.
Jesus.
Do you like it though? Is it enjoyable?
I can't say that I really like because I think like the first 2 or 3 drags are enjoyable, but when you have to like commit to finish the whole cigarette, it's almost like fuck. I paid for it, I gotta do it. So it's almost like a social thing. It's not like a. I don't even know how to
It's
explain
like
it.
it reminds me when you buy like a shitty beer and you're like, this thing sucks, but I gotta drink it.
I know I spent
So
$8.
I'm an
for it,
ex-smoker too. Like I smoked for like 3 years, and I've periodically tried one like once a quarter, so like 4 times a year or something. And every single time I do it, like after the first couple drags, I'm like, this is pretty gross right now, and I don't enjoy the flavor anymore.
Well, it just makes you feel bad.
What? Well, I mean, does it? Because that Nick Buzz, like, really does hit.
No, I'm talking about when you can't breathe and you.
Oh,
you-
my gosh,
You
yeah.
go for a walk and you can't fucking move.
Yeah,
You know what
no,
I mean?
that's... You got to move. You got to keep it on the run.
Oh yeah, you got to keep moving for sure. I can't do smoking. It hurts my lungs, makes me feel rough.
I've seen you smoke.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, who's kidding who? I did, but it just, then I did chewing for a bit, and I've gotten away from that. I just can't do the nicotine. I don't feel like
They have those like.
the Zyn patches or pouches.
Yeah, a lot of our boys are...
I
in
tried.
there.
I tried
It's
one of
that right
those.
now.
And,
They made me extremely nauseous.
yes, I think it's too much at one time.
Well, it's a straight nicotine.
I think
patch.
everybody should just smoke.
Pouch. I keep calling it a fucking pouch, like if someone's trying to quit. It's a pouch.
A pouch?
Yeah.
Well, you were calling it a patch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but nicotine.
I didn't even notice that.
Nicotine doesn't harm you at all, unless I'm wrong. I mean, I'm sure, unless you have scientists listening to your show.
No, pure tobacco is okay occasionally.
Wait a minute though, because if we're talking
Without all the shit in it.
pure tobacco, it's still going to have natural nicotine in it, right?
Well, no, they add nicotine to tobacco.
So nicotine does not appear naturally in
No,
tobacco?
No, not as far as I know. Again, I'm not a fucking scientist, so I
Yeah,
can't say this. but
maybe
I-
nicotine is in tobacco. I don't know.
I was always thought that they added it to it, and that was what the big argument was. They're adding this
So,
thing
if-
to it.
So like American Spirits, right? They always ran off their like a natural cigarette. They don't have
It's
a
still got nicotine in it, though.
added.
As far as I know, yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I've in that Power versus Force book that John Bates had mentioned, they do mention that like straight nicotine, not nicotine, tobacco is not bad for you in moderation.
Well, because it grows naturally, right?
Yeah.
Nothing's bad for you in moderation.
Yeah.
It's when the abuse happens. I mean, you can do meth once. You
I
go,
know,
wow,
right?
that was amazing.
I don't know,
What
they
about
say,
the
they say
commercials?
not
They
even
said-
once,
yeah,
bro. Not
that's
even
what they
once.
said.
Well, again, I think that's the individual.
That's true.
You know,
With my addictive personality, I just know that I have to stay away from certain things. I stick to alcohol. I stick to things I'm comfortable with. And that works
with
for me.
my personality, I don't know if there's anything that I could really not deal with. I mean, I've had a bad attitude about something. I've been a dickhead at times. Drinking.
Yeah.
No.
It's on a rarity though. I mean, it's pretty rare.
You're pretty funny, man. You do get riled up.
If I get riled up, yes. If I get riled up, we've been there, Arthur. Right?
We've all been there.
Oh yeah, you and I have been there too. I mean,
Of course we have.
Yeah, we
Look,
get riled
if
up.
you're
but,
close friends, dude, then
Yeah.
like you're not close friends if you didn't butt heads at some point. all
Right.
right?
That's
I mean,
true.
yeah,
That's how friends work, and you work through the issues. That's how friends work.
but again, I'm not. I've never done heroin. I've never done meth. I've never smoked crack.
Nope, me either.
But I've done other adult drugs, and I say adult drugs because I think like smoking weed is lame.
What?
Because I've done so much better stuff.
Well,
I
I
mean-
mean, smoking weed can be kind of lame, and that's only because it's so bad for your lungs, right?
I was
smoking
going to say,
anything.
yeah, I was going to say anything you ingest into your lungs. I don't care if you're vaping, smoking.
It's not going to be healthy.
Yeah, it's
It's
not.
not going to be healthy.
I'm,
But yeah,
I'm eating a lot of weed nowadays, Jamie. Oh wait, that's another thing that I've done is I stopped smoking it
he's eating it.
and I started eating it. Don't you look at my the camera didn't get it, but Jamie's like over here looking at my belly while I said, "Hey,
I'm
hey,
trying to be nice because
this
I've got like
X-large
3
is fitting
cocktails
me
in it.
tight.
So I mean,
it's fitting me tight. I,
I don't
can't
want.
help it."
I don't want to turn into that cocktail thing.
We would become more powerful, as
Yes.
Justin Fine Silver once said.
Well,
you
like
know.
I've always said, it's better to have the keg than the 6-pack. So I mean,
Yeah, I'm going to have to tighten up, though, I feel like.
the 6-pack's a little bit more. It's easier to look at, but the keg's guaranteed every time.
It's guaranteed. It shows that you put in your time, your work. But I'm going to have to tighten up, I feel like.
Why tighten up, dude? What did that cost you?
A lot.
I know. Well, it's an investment now.
I mean, it's but it costs a lot, too, because it's like it weighs on your health a little bit. It can have...
Dude, I just went to a doctor because I'm doing my teeth, and I got a good girl now, so she wants me going in.
Yeah, she doesn't want you to keel over.
Exactly.
Well, none of us do.
Yeah,
because she's
take care of
invested.
take care of
I know.
yourself.
So
Jamie,
I go to the
people.
doctor, and everything's good. Can you believe that? Everything's good.
Wait a minute.
My blood pressure's high.
How high?
Oh, 170, 180s.
Jesus
over
Christ,
whatever.
Jamie, that's way high.
I know, but I'm taking medicine now.
Blood pressure medicine?
Yeah. Blood pressure medicine.
Cholesterol's good, though?
Cholesterol's never good.
You under 200?
I have no idea.
All right.
Now you're asking a lot.
Yeah,
of
this is
really
getting
good
personal on here.
questions.
Right
Well, I
now.
mean,
You're
look,
getting,
I mean,
you're asking a lot of really good questions I don't have answers
I
to.
deal with the same shit.
But the only thing again, because I'm going to bring Kelly's name with it because she loves me to death and she calls on my bullshit. The doctors called and said, "Oh, everything's good," and she goes, "Your liver can't be good."
and it was.
I know. I'm like, what does that mean? She goes, "It just can't be." She goes, "I want you to go back." She wanted me to call the doctor and
like,
request
"We need a
just a
retest."
liver test.
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
I mean, I drink at least half of what I used to. At least a half.
Yeah,
That's good.
You know,
Glad to hear that.
and she's still not impressed with the amount I drink.
yeah, I've been
But-
trying to cut back the drinks.
The liver results, what you're saying, was good.
They said everything was fine. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. You know, I'm going on 30.
Well, thank God for
how
that,
old am
man.
I? 33 years old. My liver enzymes are already high. You know. And,
Well, yeah, but you've been crazy for.
He's
I
been
think
a wild
I think
redneck.
K-Bet's always taken things always to the limit.
You think?
I think you've always wanted to push something to see where it goes.
But not all things. But I will say this, Kevin. When you decide to do something, you jump in
Yes.
with both feet in the deep end, and
Yeah,
you're
you're all in.
You go.
You're like,
yeah.
you know what? If I'm going to be a fucking alcoholic, I'm going to be the best alcoholic there ever fucking was.
I don't know if that's a fucking compliment or an insult.
Well, no, I'm just saying with anything, podcasting.
Right,
you know?
right.
We,
Well,
we
I mean,
have
shit.
Yeah. Well, no. Me and the other brothers talk shit all the time. It's like, well, if you want to talk to Kevin, you got to talk to him about podcast stuff. 'Cause you-
That's not necessarily true.
well, no. Don't take it personal. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. We love you. I mean, you're my little brother. I'm just saying.
motherfucker.
See, that's the way it used to be. You should have seen him when he had a temper.
Oh, dude, trust me. I was the one who was trying to calm him down. Like, Kevin, look, it's not worth your energy to be focused on this right now.
Yeah,
You guys have experienced
Get
all
my
of it.
meditative voice out and shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how everybody's changed, and I mean, we're all still kind of doing the same things, but mellowed out a little bit. I mean, anybody watching this crazy podcast right now is only a quarter of what really happened, 10 years ago. I mean,
That's so true. Yeah.
I mean-
and that's why it's so important too to keep echoing that point of, like, family, friends, bringing it back old school. Obviously, we carry the Beyond Blood, all that stuff. And,
Yeah,
and
I
we
need
speak.
to, I need to
we
get
some
that.
of us do.
I need to get that in time.
yeah, some of us do.
some of us are
But-
just lagging behind, I guess.
We speak volumes of that on the show a lot about the family and friends aspect, the shit that you and I talked about. We wrote "Going Home," right? That song was basically encapsulated family and friends make you the richest man, and that's something that always stuck with me till this day. And we push it a lot on this podcast because it's so true. And you
Well, and
see
shot
it
of
day in,
whiskey,
day out.
that kind of
Shot of whiskey.
Dude,
Kinda
Ridge
fit.
Runners had some great songs, dude. Like, great lyrics. They were great songs, dude. And like, that's
The
the
Ridge
thing.
Runner was the best cowpunk band ever, and who said that?
Screaming Pete.
Screaming Pete. He
Yeah.
said it was the best cowpunk band ever.
And cowpunk, I think, was a phrase that he coined, and we mentioned that too when Sin on Six
And then
was on.
Farmageddon.
Farmageddon.
Yeah, Farmigan. Yeah.
Pete's just
I
a
like
great
that.
guy. I love that guy. I'm so happy that he moved on to Sin on Six and is doing really well.
I
You know?
have not talked to Pete, but I love him dearly.
He's a great guy, man. He's a great guy, and we had a lot of fun with the Ridge Runners for sure. But circling back, it's just the friends and family aspect, man. To Beyond Blood, the friendship we built. We're all still here. We can lose touch not lose touch because we still stay in touch. We haven't seen each other in like 6, 7, 8 months.
I know, but that doesn't mean we do. I mean, we
No,
text
fuck
each other
no.
constantly.
Well, I mean, that's how some friends are. Like, I got, best friends too that, I don't talk to them for sometimes a couple months, 3 months or something, but the love never faded. Like,
Yeah.
there's no, it's unconditional love for my closest homies, my boys, like my closest boys. Like, it's hard to describe.
Well, a perfect example is that Kevin Anderson are going to, but you were all there. You were there for all those stories. I mean, if you were to call me the same way, if you were to call me and go, dude, I need you right now, I'd be tripping over myself to get to you. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
it's not about the stories. It's about, we all know where we all stand in our,
We all trust and respect
Yeah,
each other.
and
that's,
our friendships
That's the
and-
biggest
Good
thing.
point.
and
Yeah.
we know what our friends are and what our family is and, where we all stand.
So true, man, and it's important to remember that too, and that's why we always put so much emphasis, even when you're not on the show, Jamie. There's so many times.
Oh, yeah, we're always mentioning
We're always
that
like,
stuff.
if it wasn't for Jamie Rourke, we wouldn't be here, right? In a lot of
No
aspects.
wonder my ears always hurt.
Yeah, that's why your ears are hurting. You're like, damn, these motherfuckers don't call me, but we're still talking about
I thought
you,
it was
brother.
my teeth, but no, these guys talking shit.
No, I mean it's
Just
just
the appropriate amount. Jesus. That was like, okay, so I don't. It was like that was
I
a
didn't
very
see it, but
like I just took a swig of Bud Light and you know.
Did you gleek?
oh, was that
No, I
was that
just
too
had-
powerful for you?
No, I just had like so much of that in my like I went to go talk, and it was I'm trying to come up with a good word for spray.
Spray's good.
It was a spray
Hey,
a spray say.
Kind of, you squirted a little bit.
It was a spray say.
I mean, if you're doing it right, they squirt.
Do you need more whiskey, Jamie? Yes. Okay. Send that over
Whiskey.
here.
Yeah. Here, hit, give us all around. Fuck it.
Here, he was the one saying we should keep the drinks
Who was?
on the other. Yeah.
Well, no, the beer cans. I don't.
Who's it? This is yours or?
Yeah, that's me. Yeah, easy. I don't need that Jamie pour.
Where you at, Jamie?
I was about to say I have no idea.
Yeah, it's great
Yeah,
having you back.
So,
It is good to see you again, man.
how
long?
was your guys'? I mean, since we don't talk that much and now we're on camera,
we can, dude. We're getting personal on this episode.
I know.
This
So,
is
what
friends talking.
personal life. I mean, how's Brand?
She's doing great, man. So we booked a trip to Hawaii.
Check, please. We're leaving. We're fucking leaving. How are you getting Hawaii? I thought it was still closed down.
No, we're going, bro. It's back open. We're going. We got a direct flight to Hawaii.
Everything I just said about Kevin was a fucking lie. We're leaving right now.
What do you,
Check,
what do you
please.
mean you're leaving?
Hawaii is like on my bucket list. I mean,
Bro, it's been on my
ever
bucket
since
list.
I was a little kid. Hawaii has always said like paradise.
Yeah, I'm
You know,
going, bro.
yeah.
I'm finally going. And luckily, I have a great girlfriend who is just as excited I am and has the financial capability to go with. Right? I mean, she's really been doing a good job locking this down and getting this financial.
Again,
piece
this
of
is
it dialed
another
in.
thing that we've all come across. Is like we're all finally getting. I remember Kevin saying, "Do you want me to put this out there?"
Yes.
He would never fall
Yes.
in love with anybody. It was literally impossible for K-Bat to fall in love.
Yeah,
And I told him. I
Yep.
told him. I was like, dude, it's human instinct. Can't fight it. Can't fight it, bro.
That's so true, man. And I had those conversations with her, too. And I'm glad you put that out there because I've been as real as I can be on this cast. And that's a good point coming from an outsider who actually knows me. It's one thing to sit here and blow smoke, but it's another thing for a guy that's seen it live action. I blew smoke for fucking years. When her and I split
no,
up-
you weren't lying about it. You were convinced that you could not fall in love with anybody.
Yeah, you're
And
right.
that's just one thing that nobody has control over. I mean, that's just that one thing. I mean, you could try, but it's just not going to happen.
I mean, who doesn't want to have like we're all so fortunate to have like our group of friends. Like, we're so close, we're so tight. I know I could call like 5 or 6 people right now, and people would be there for me. Like I'm fortunate for that. But even with all you guys, like all my boys and my best friends, like you still the body yearns, right? Like the body wants, and like that extra intimate friendship and connection. Like everybody wants that.
yeah,
I think everybody wants that.
Your wife or girlfriend or significant, I mean, whatever you call it, is always going to be number one. But our friendship, that this group of people, if anybody knew what the whole group was, I mean, it's irreplaceable. I mean, no matter who, the disagreements, or because every one of us are totally different. I mean, I'm not even going to get into all the differences, but I mean, every one of us are totally fucking different. But there's a love between 5, 6 guys that I could just name off the top of my head that I don't think anybody could replace, honestly. So
I couldn't agree more, man.
yeah.
That's a great way to put it, for sure. Because we've all been in that position. We butt heads. We've been there. We've cried. We've laughed. We've been angry. We've fought. We've done it all. And that's true friendship.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a person in this room right now, well, except for Freddie. Freddie.
And we
Freddie
do
would always
got-
be there.
Fred
Okay,
Farrell is
okay,
in the
Freddie
building.
fucking
Real
Farrell,
quick,
yeah.
while we're on the subject, we got Fred Farrell in the building. He's been on an episode with us. He's one of the first to actually sit down and listen, view the podcast, and be like and doing it professionally, by the way. Because like when we first started off in your basement, remember like everybody would be in there, bro. We would have like
And everyone would be chiming
Oh,
in.
people coming downstairs
Yeah,
and bouncing
it was like
around
a party and
upstairs.
It was a
shit.
mess.
Yeah. So
You sure you still like doing it at the house then? Huh?
I mean, look, those were good times. Those were good times.
those were so fun.
But we had to, take it.
I'm kind of glad you guys left because I sobered up.
Oh, I know.
blame us for that?
Yeah, we may have contributed to that a little bit, man. for sure.
It's
easy to drink.
It's easy to drink. Well, I mean, it's just, it's that kind of same feeling of, band practice, performance, whatever. You get that exciting energy, and it's like, oh, let's drink, let's booze, let's drink some whiskey. And what we're so fortunate with this cast is we got a lot of folks come on, hey, try this whiskey. We've had distilleries on here. We've had a lot of different things. So it's like drinking is happens a lot. And now I'm in the booze business, so we're all fucked.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
totally.
you guys talk a lot of stuff about, the house and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, that was a busy place. I mean, there's a few times I thought about instead of like putting a screen door and a door and just put an evolving door. Because you remember when I said there was a point in my life at my apartment in my house if somebody rang the doorbell or knocked, you thought you were in trouble.
Yeah, like who
Yeah,
was
because
coming up and
normal
not
people would just walk
They
in.
just walk in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my God, the doorbell's ringing.
Who's here?
That's got to be somebody complaining, or
can't be good.
can't be good. And it'd be like, one of you fucktards, and be like,
Yep.
don't knock on the door, just come in.
Oh man.
We definitely reached that point, whether it was at the old podcast studio, whether it was at the Quincy Ridge place where we just walk into everybody's house.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody could be jerking off in their living room. We're still walking in.
No, it was the tap and knock. Like you did the and then you'd walk.
Yeah,
in.
you just walk in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like
I'm
here.
Nobody just
real
ever walked
quick.
in. Yeah, I don't want to make it
Yeah.
sound disrespectful.
But
yeah.
still, a tap knock. Like if you're
Yeah.
naked,
Yeah.
that's not going to give you a lot of
but
time.
that gives you enough time to be like, hey,
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
like,
yeah.
well, I'm naked in here. You
Not
know?
the way you guys walked in. You guys are always looking for beer. Or
We came in with a vengeance.
yeah.
And then, of course, I think we told the story when you and Boardman came to my place, and I wasn't having
Oh
it.
Lord, that is going to be a
Wait.
classic story.
Let's
that
go ahead and
sticks
tell
up.
that.
Yeah. What is
All right,
this?
all right. So it was probably Friday night.
Yep, sounds right.
I don't remember exact night, but it was like Friday through Sunday night. It was like we all got together and we just partied. Beer, whatever crazy liquor, partying. Beer pong. I hated playing beer pong with your brother. I hated
He's
it.
good.
Eric
God,
is
he's
good.
He's so good at it. But anyway,
So am I.
so we're like, we seen K-Bash truck, So Matt and I were like, call him. No answer. Call him again. No answer. So I had to write. I was like, we know he's there. Let's just walk over. Maybe he's taking a shower. We go over there. This motherfucker, dude, we're like, tunk, tunk, tunk. And I think we knocked two times. Yeah, one, 2 times. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But dude, the vengeance, he opened that door up. It was a side of K-Bad I've never seen before. Again, I seen him when he was in his angry days. He whipped that door, and his first words like, "Are you fucking with me?" And the only thing I could say is like, "We just wanted to see if you wanted to hang out." And he just slams the door. And I remember looking at Matt. God bless his soul. I remember looking at Matt and going, apparently he doesn't want to hang out. And we just let. I mean, but again, I don't have any hard feelings. I mean, that's just the way he was. You know, I mean.
Well, so what I remember on my side of that story was I was taking a nap.
This is gonna be good.
I remember taking a good hard nap, because that was at a time where I worked like through the night and I was doing weird hours and shit.
Well, again, I remember you saying you were taking. Well, of course, that's why you're so angry, and we were calling you twice, and now we're knocking on your door. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was at that point, and I used to not do well with waking up out of naps, and I was also an asshole.
Wait, does anybody do well getting woken up out of a nap? Does
There's got to be someone doing it better than me.
Yeah.
okay.
There has to be.
So you're weird evening hours. You're sleeping.
No, it wasn't even. Well, I mean, it was like. What do you think it was, James? It was probably like 5:45.
Yeah, I
maybe
mean, it was
6.
it was in the afternoon when people get home.
Yeah, like
5:30,
work was
6 o'clock,
over.
yeah.
Oh,
5:36.
see, I pictured
I'm
like
snoozing.
you guys partied the night before.
No.
No. This was
no.
a
This was
Friday
the
night.
morning
This,
after.
no. This was a
See,
Friday night.
You said Friday night, and I just
Yeah, I said Friday through Sunday. That's all we ever did was
Yeah.
party and play beer pong. I mean, we all got somebody's house or apartment.
okay.
We just
Okay.
partied. And
So this is the intro to the Friday night.
yeah.
Okay.
So
That
we'll
makes it even
we'll
better.
say 6 o'clock.
Let's call it 6.
We tried to call him twice, and then Matt and I were like, "Fuck, let's just go over there and knock
go
on his
over.
door." So
Yeah, and sure enough, on my end, I remember I was sleeping on my couch. I was pissed off. I saw missed calls. I'm like, look, I'm not answering my phone for a reason, guys. Now they're here at my door. So I walked
Can't get
over
rid
there,
of these guys.
and I'm like, what the fuck do you guys want? And that's where the anger came from. So that's what I remember on my side.
it's
but
Matt and I's fault.
that story, yeah, that story is a good one to tell because I fucking flew off on you guys.
That's right. We still love you. We,
Yeah, I know.
we didn't hold it personal. We just knew who you were. Like, well, apparently he doesn't want to hang out.
And I think what happened was
And
if
you
I-
came over
Yes,
later that night.
Yeah,
You-
yeah. I remember coming
Of course
about
he is. Of course he is. That's where the beer's at. Of course he was going to show up later. You just
Couple
needed
few
a
hours
nap.
later.
Yeah, he just needed a fucking nap.
I needed my rest, bro.
And the Snickers, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Snickers. That's my
Oh, you
favorite
remember
candy bar, bro.
remember when the little Tonio's pizzas were like $1?
Dude, how much are those up to nowadays? They're like
Dude, it's more-
$3.50.
Yeah, I mean, remember when they were like 99 cents or $1?
I do
used
love
to buy
those
them by
pizzas.
like
Which
10
one?
at a time.
I
The
do
little
remember that.
Tonio's.
Oh,
pizzas.
yeah.
I know Austin loved those things.
Yeah, I would buy those things. I remember we'd make like tacos out of them. We
would.
like put
That's
like,
the way.
like scrambled
That is the way
eggs
if
and
you're
shit
really
in them.
serious.
Yeah, yeah.
We experimented with all of the culinary possibilities.
Yes. I still have a
With the
picture of you
cheapest
wearing
foods.
the beer belt when we made
the beer
Niffler the
belt.
first time. Yeah.
That Niffle night was a night to remember.
Niffle night?
Yeah, Nifla.
Nifla?
So Nifla is well,
It's
Jamie's gonna tell
it's
better than me.
basically like a German dumpling. Is that the best way?
Oh,
I
see,
think that's a good way to
It's
describe
about the
it.
size of your thumb.
Okay.
There's a lot of things. But it's like the size of your thumb, you know, and you boil it in like heavy salt water and it turns into like this noodle or this dumpling. And you put heavy whipping cream over it and sauteed onions.
So good.
Yeah, it's a traditional dish that, you know.
I thoroughly
I love
enjoy
it.
it. It's very
And
filling.
you made some good food. I got to kind of break the subject because we were always intruding on Wednesday nights and coming into Jamie's house and doing that to record, and you were always so open with whenever you were cooking, you'd always be like, you want a plate, and I would always want to say yes,
Well, yeah,
and usually
of course,
I would
but you
say
gotta
yes.
understand what I was going through at the time. I mean, you got to remember, we've known each other a long time.
Yeah.
You know, when I got that apartment, I was going through my separation the first time. Only thing I had was my son Austin.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I had him constantly. That poor guy. I mean, the shit that poor guy saw with us hanging around. You know, but I
Yeah,
mean,
jeez.
you know, having friends around and you know, and being able to do a family thing. You know, it was like I don't know, how do you call that? It was like it was like.
Well, look, I didn't even finish my point. I was gonna say you're talking about this Nifla stuff, and I was gonna say like you always were making this bomb ass shit. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Well, no. It was just traditional dishes that. You know,
And
my
it's like Polish stuff, right?
German.
German. Okay, so it's like it's German stuff.
Yeah,
and,
like
and it was
hamburger,
all super
sauerkraut,
good.
and rice, Niffler,
Yeah.
Love
cheese
that shit.
buttons. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm loving. I love trying all the different types of foods and things that I've never had before. You know, and that's living. Like, you know, okay, so here's something new that's going on. Is I've become addicted to walks. I go on at least like 1.5 miles a day, pretty much every single day. I know you don't believe it, but you know this is this is the powerful 250 that I'm pushing here, okay? And so today, like I've actually come to enjoy walking in the extreme weather. Like when no one else is on a walk, I want to go on that walk.
he's like, it's fucking blizzarding. Nobody should move. It's like fucking 60.
I'm going
below zero.
out.
I'm going.
I'm
for a
going.
walk.
I'm going
He
out
wants the
there.
intensity.
And with the blistering wind today in Colorado, it was whoosh, whipping heavy and like
Brutal.
I loved it today, man. Doing the walk with the wind, it was excellent. It was excellent.
The winds were brutal today. I will say that. My door about ripped off.
Your what?
My car door. Open that thing.
It got ripped off.
Didn't get it. Almost did.
Oh,
You know, that's quite an exaggeration. But I opened it up and then it was just boom. Really tested the strength of those springs.
well, no. The sad thing is when that happens, is you're like holding on to it and it like fucking stretches your arm out. 'Cause
yeah.
You're not expecting it, so it's like, whoop, you know.
Or that person's car that you parked next to, the brand new one, and you got the old rusty dented, and like you're like, oops, I
Yeah.
didn't mean to do
Well-
that.
Well, that's when you just move parking spots.
The wind did it. Oh, hey, see, that's the solution. You've dealt with that before.
No. I'm just assuming.
Great assumptions, sir. Can I have another? Man, yeah, it's just so it's such a pleasure, man, to be able to have you come in, come chill with us, see us grow. It's, we're happy to see you grow. I mean, we love you. We love you, Jamie, bro. We think about you all the time, and we're always like just wondering when is Jamie going to rip a guitar next?
I
You
just
still playing?
not very often.
Me either.
I played the other night for 20 minutes, I think. Going through the same chords hours, just
Just trying
Nothing
to,
new.
Just trying to stay current.
I bought my dream guitar, and it's like I bought my dream guitar and I set it up, but I never played it.
Yeah.
Honestly, I pick it up every once in a while, and my dream guitar was always that acoustic that I have, and it's sitting in the living room on a guitar stand, and I probably play it once a month,
Yeah, that Martin.
if that.
Yeah.
That Martin, I love and I love that thing so much. It's sitting on a hook in my office, and doesn't get played much.
Well, be careful hanging it in a hook, because I did that. You know what happens?
I remember what happened.
What happened?
That was the 12 string, right?
I had an $800 12 string that I destroyed.
The Dean 12 string.
Yes.
Did it fall off the wall?
Well,
No,
no,
it
I
just-
had
it
it hanging
busted.
underneath a heat vent. So all winter long, it
The
was
heat
just
was hitting it.
yeah. So it didn't get any moisture, and it dried out. And one night I was sleeping, but I just sleep on my chair in my living room, and I heard this bang bang ding dong. I mean, it just fucking flew apart. It was
So wait. So you have to like keep the guitar
Moist.
moist.
yeah. Everybody has this misconception that you don't want to get your guitar wet.
Well, not.
Well, yeah,
wet,
you don't
but,
want
like,
to dunk it in water, but
Yeah.
you don't want to think of it's wood.
It needs
Yeah.
moisture.
It needs.
What
it
happens
needs,
to wood if it gets too
It
dry?
needs
Cracks.
hydration.
Yeah.
So it got so dry
Yeah,
that
it fell
it
apart.
stretched it out, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like, it,
like the-
pulled
the-
everything.
The body of the guitar, an acoustic guitar, literally like folded up like this. I mean, it like broke apart.
Yeah. Here, spin that mic towards you a little bit. I know it's a little loosey, but yeah. Everything takes maintenance.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the guitars for sure, because I got that little acoustic, guitar humidifier, so to speak, where it sits in between, the second and third string. You just kind of drop it in there
Yeah.
when it's in a case, right? But on
So
the
you just got it sitting out right now?
yeah, it's on the hook. You've seen it.
Well, shit, man, you got to get that thing.
I mean, that Martin, it probably needs some moisture.
Does that work though?
It does work because for a couple reasons. So this is what I've kind of dived into a little bit. So there is a humidifier in the room, right? And there's also a fish tank. And so
Does the
'cause
fish tank help with
yeah,
humidity like
so I'm about to
Okay.
Because you haven't seen our new 60-gallon, Jamie. We got a fucking
Wait,
humdinger.
that's something new with Kevin.
Dude,
I
I
didn't
got
know you had a 1 gallon.
No,
Bro.
Kevin. Look, this is something new with Kevin that obviously you haven't heard about.
I got a
But
big
Kevin
hitter,
is
bro.
into the fish tanks.
I got an
right now.
aquarium.
Well, Kevin's
dude.
been into fish for a long time. It's just we tried to get him out of the smell of it.
No, but
Oh, I got a joke.
right, go.
Right
Okay.
before we wrap up, I got the best.
no, just spit it now.
Okay. So Adam looks up to God. He goes, God, I got a problem. God looks on Adam and goes, Adam, what is it? He goes, it's Eve. There's something wrong with Eve. And God goes, Adam, what's wrong with Eve? He goes, God, she's bleeding between her legs and it just won't stop. I mean, there's blood. And God goes, oh, I forgot to tell you about that. He goes, Adam, what did you do? But he goes, well, I sent her to the ocean to rinse off. And God goes, oh, no, Adam. I'll never get that smell out of the fish.
Oh, great.
I like a good joke.
Of course, Jamie had a dirty joke in the pocket.
I mean,
I
it
love
was
it.
Dirty.
I would
It's not
say-
dirty. It's biblical.
No,
it's
it
biblical. Yeah.
it was
Biblical.
it was talking about cleansing and all that stuff. No, but seriously, Kevin's into the fish super now, and all of his fishes.
My
they're-
fish are badass,
The
bro.
fishes
The
are having.
fishes.
Yeah, the fish. The fishies are having
Bro.
babies, and so he's buying predatorial fish to eat the babies.
Dude, it's going down.
Fucking terrible.
Bro, I got a 60-gallon aquarium since the last time you saw me. This thing's a beast.
So you're just buying like predatory fish just to watch them eat other fish?
No, I'm not doing that. I was just trying to keep the ecosystem alive. I got Texas cichlids. I got South American cichlids.
So
in
when
there.
do you pull the predatory fish out to keep
They
the
took over a
ecosystem?
tank.
Oh, they already took over the tank.
So you have no ecosystem. You just have predatory fish.
Well, no, that's not true
You
because
still got Slippy the snail in there.
snails in there.
Uh-huh.
We got
Well,
a
the
tetra.
snail just keeps sucked up against glass, hoping for his life. That's all he does.
Yeah, but these guys, you see, that's what's interesting about these fish is they only attack fish that they feel is a threat. Because I got other fish in there. I got a tetra and a ghost catfish. They won't fuck with him. They're like, we're cool. But they ate everything else. They ate my tetras. They ate my mollies. They ate my guppies. Cleaned them out. And now these fish are getting massive. But So to echo off the point I was saying about moisture, I got the amount of, because here in Colorado with these fish tanks, the water from these fish tanks are evaporating in the air, which puts a lot of moisture in the air.
Apparently makes the fish really angry.
Well, I did get the most aggressive fish in the world, of course.
Of course, Kevin. Yeah, and no, Kevin he had a boner over this shit. I swear to God, when he first got the aggressive fish, bro, you kind of had
First
a
of
little
all-
boner over this shit. He was like,
This is
he's
where it
like-
all starts happening.
He's like, these are the most aggressive fish. These
I didn't.
are.
Well, I didn't know anything about.
Well, you don't
anything.
want it to eat the mom and the dad. You just want it to eat. What I mean, you said an ecosystem, so
Right.
it is a managed thing. You pretty much just like destroyed the ecosystem by getting like a predatory fish. And
They
just,
took
like-
over the tank.
Yeah, and
Like,
they
it's
took
their
over.
tank
So
now.
now they're just starving and start going to eat the glass, basically.
Well, they get fed well, but they're definitely, the cichlids have taken over that tank. You know,
The what?
Cichlids is a type of fish.
That's the predatory
Oh.
fish, and then he feeds them like a half bloodworm
krill.
diet. Like, so yeah, Kevin's on another level, and also Brandy is like.
Oh,
super-
Brandy's been holding it down, bro.
Dude, the aquatic couple.
Yeah, we've gotten really into the aquatic life, Jamie, and it's fun.
I think you guys need a parental fucking sticker
Advisory.
on this fucking podcast.
No,
now.
we clicked the
You know how many
18
people are
plus
going to
button.
fucking be destroyed because you had fish eating fish? I know.
But,
Oh
but see,
my
that's
gosh.
that's a normal thing in the fish world, Jamie.
You know, if anybody's offended by that,
Not when you overpopulate the predatory fish, though.
Well, no, we didn't overpopulate.
Did you put one in there?
We put 3 in there.
It's a 60-gallon tank.
That's
Well,
a lot
it
of water.
wasn't at the time though. It wasn't.
I know.
60 gallon at the time.
One fish, I'm sure, could eat like
So
at
actually,
least
it was
50
overkill
babies
at
at a
the time
time.
then, because if it was less room.
Well,
at the
but
time.
see, so when we introduced the predatorial
It's
fish,
like fish birth control. That's what we're talking about.
that's basically what it was. And here's what's crazy too: is these guys laid eggs. The cichlids that we're talking about, these predatorial fish, they laid eggs
It's fucking weird to me.
and then they all ate them. The other fish ate them,
The eggs?
all of
they're
them.
cannibals.
They ate all the eggs.
Well, all fish are cannibals.
They ate the fucking caviar. That's what it is, I think.
I think most humans are cannibals too in a survival situation.
I like tuna.
I like tuna too. But either way, the fish tank's doing pretty well. And next time you come down, you gotta check it out. It's pretty badass. It's a lot of fun.
I'm going to check it out.
No,
I
it's so
I didn't
cool.
even know you had fucking fish.
Oh, okay,
60
and
It's
gallons.
then,
not like a Chinese fighting fish that you got from a carnival?
Nope, nothing like that. They're South American and Texas cichlids.
and then Kevin had an emergency event with these fish tanks, right? So
Oh, fuck.
it's like
Yeah, it was.
it's after a long week. You tell the story better.
I don't even know if I told this story on
How
the
do you
air.
have an emergency event with a fish
So
tank?
here's what happened, bro. Because you got to think about 60 gallons of water, as you know. You've been in this business. How much do you think that weighs?
60 gallons? That's a lot of math. 5 gallons. Anyway,
No,
it's a lot of math.
come on, let's hear the estimate.
Okay, so 60 gallons. 800 pounds.
Correct.
Nice.
A lot of weight,
dude.
bro. That's a lot of weight, right? And so I didn't have the proper thing to put a fish tank on a stand. So what we did is we're like, oh, this thing looks pretty stable, right? You saw it. We
It
pulled
looks
out
stable.
an entertainment unit, very solid. I mean, oak, right? This thing was tough,
From Oak Express.
rugged.
It's not oak.
It was. I mean, this thing was a rugged piece of equipment, right? We're like, oh, this will hold it. And then 6-7 days in, it started bowing.
Remember the
But because
fucking big ass plasma TV?
Yes,
It did the same thing.
you're right because of the fucking weight.
Yeah.
And that's what we didn't take into consideration was how fucking heavy water is. When anybody listening that wants to do a fish tank, be prepared to have something stable to hold this fucking weight.
And let me explain why, okay? So the edges, the corners, the 90-degree angles of the fish tank also need to be sitting directly on top of the framing of... So like, what you were using, the Amor or whatever, it went further.
So what happened?
It went out further, and so the fish tank was like in between. But the fish tank has to meet the edge of the structure that it's
distribute the
sitting
weight
on,
properly.
so that it's properly on the legs that actually frame out whatever it's sitting on.
Correct.
And so what was happening was it was buckling and it was pushing the drawers out, and then they're noticing this, and they're like, "Holy shit, we got to evacuate this tank."
They're yelling. She's like, "Why did you close the drawer?"
Yeah, because they're on the second floor, and you already know if that shit fucking buckles,
Fails.
dude.
60 gallons of water, bro, going down onto your neighbor down below, not good.
With 65 gallons is more than 55 gallons, and 55 gallons is a barrel.
That's a lot of water.
A lot of water.
It's a lot of fucking water.
Okay.
So we had to make that executive decision. We made the executive decision to do a fucking stand swap. So that night we had to get all that water out. We went to PetSmart. We got
How do you get all that water out?
siphon.
Who siphoned?
Me.
Did you get any fish poop?
No, I didn't get. Well, maybe.
Hey, that's all good, man.
Man, it's a
all good.
possibility.
You got to do what you got to do.
It's a possibility. So we corrected it. But, dude, what I've learned is, like, fish tanks are fucking work, bro. Work.
Any pet is work.
I mean, fish are still less than, like, cats or dogs, I feel like. But
No,
they're...
you still got to clean tanks and all that.
You got to clean the
bullshit.
tank, but they're a little bit easier, I feel like. And
Like once they're set up.
once they're set up,
The setup process might
Is
be
a
a little
bitch.
bit more
It's a bitch.
strenuous, but
it's a bitch.
know.
But I do encourage fish owners. 60 gallons, work your way up. Do it like I did. I start with 1 gallon, 2.5, 10, 30, 60. That's how I did
and
it.
that's epic.
I have a girlfriend that I love. There's no way that I'm going to get a pet that gives me any more stress.
And I can respect that.
I just got a lava lamp.
I had a lava lamp.
I just
burned
bought
up
a
in
new
the
one.
garage. Your weed saw that you gave me burned up in the garage.
Oh, the Black & Decker? It just done?
Well, it burned up in the
Oh,
garage.
yeah, burned up in the fire.
Yeah, man.
I had a garage fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Dog lived. Fucking dog.
Chaz lived through that, but
Chaz
he didn't
was
quite
the man.
make it the distance.
The weed saw died.
I remember coming up after an episode of Discussion Combustion.
Was it
Chaz
Arthur?
dead.
Was it you that discovered that he was dead? that
You
night?
know, I don't
You're
want to
like-
tell the story
He
really,
was
but
no. I
you
remember.
know.
He's like, "Hey, can I pet?" I'm like, "Yeah, dude, pet him."
no,
He goes,
I would no, I didn't even ask, bro, because I love that dog, and I would always just pet him, and I noticed that like my boy, dude, the bulldog, my man Chaz, he was just very still while he was sleeping, and we've seen that before. Like we had been quite like there.
I know. I was telling you, you got to stomp on the floor.
Yeah, there'd been many times, bro, and like unfortunately that night, like when we went to go check on him and give him his evening pets after the episode, you know, and but he was a soldier, man. He was a soldier. That dog.
He was
been
still
through it
warm
all.
though. I mean,
Chaz lived.
he almost made it to. He almost made it to his pillow. Almost. He was like a foot away. He almost made it.
Chaz was a trooper.
That motherfucker, dude, would eat and drink anything.
30 weight oil.
Including 30 weight oil, antifreeze,
Cigarette butts off the back porch table,
entire meat bones.
and chicken bones, not just meat.
Oh,
chicken
yeah.
bones.
Meat, beef, pork bones. I mean, the dog would eat them all.
And he just wanted to hang out, man. It didn't matter how bad his arthritis was. Like even if Kevin and I just arrived at your place and nobody else was home yet, like we'd hear him coming down the stairs.
He wanted to come see what was going
You know,
on.
we would always give him the courtesy carry up or whatever. But
Yep.
man,
I
what
think-
a fantastic animal he was.
One of the funniest stories is when he had the garage all fixed up like the man cave thing.
Yeah.
He would always lay in that one chair. So I'm
Oh,
sitting-
he loved that chair.
he
I would
loved
show
that
up,
chair.
he would be in that chair.
Stinky motherfucker.
Yeah.
Fuck up a chair. But I was sitting there watching TV on like a Saturday or Sunday on a weekend day, and he gets off the chair and he's like stumbling side to side. He goes up by that little tree in the front yard, and he does this whole like handstand thing where his legs come up and he's like hacking. I'm like, oh, he's
Oh,
fucking
no.
dying. Yeah, that's it. This is fucking dying. He walks around the fucking tree, takes a shit, falls over, and I'm like, that's it.
Oh fuck.
That's it. He gets up and goes, jumps on his chair, and falls back asleep.
Chaz was a unique species. He lived way past what he was capable of. I mean, the night that he passed away, it was like, wow.
I was pretty bummed.
He went the distance.
I talked a lot of
Yeah.
shit like I hated dog, but I was pretty bummed. I cried.
I mean,
Oh,
who
come
wouldn't
on,
be?
man. We all
We
love
all did.
love that pupper.
Chaz was an epic staple of that entire establishment.
I know.
He was stinky,
needed the
he was
stinky dog
ugly,
in
and
the
you
frat
wanted to
house.
just fucking
You know what I
pet
mean?
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
You know?
badass.
So we've asked you this a bunch of times. We got to ask you again because you're progressing in life. Of course, things are in constant change, ebb and flow. So what advice do you have for humanity to be better tomorrow?
Fuck. There's so much. I think, I mean, for humanity. I don't know how to do this because you guys are on a political show.
I mean, you can touch, you can lightly touch
You
things.
can go all of it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much right now that's going wrong with everything, you know, that I think we all need to get back on the same page. How do I don't even know what to say with that one. I mean, just say it lightly without getting real political and shitty. It's just a mess right now. I mean,
So, may I?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I feel like intuitively I feel where you're going. So, there's major division in humanity right now, and people are doing the most to almost polarize their divisions. Like they're not trying to meet in the middle right now. Like I don't feel like a lot of people are like actually like having the courage.
Everybody wants their own little square right now, and nobody wants them to cross that square. You know, I mean, everybody wants their own, like, think of it as like a dance club. There's like different squares dancing around. Don't cross that square. It's like conversation. It's everything. Don't cross that square, you know, because, you know, I'm going to offend it, or this is what I'm doing, or, yeah, you know, I've got a lot of stuff. I don't think right now is the right time to.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And you know, like, it's with polarizing opinions, you know, politically, you know, with politics and like in genders and like and race and all of these things that are big issues. I do the asterisks issues, because does it have to be? Like, we're all just, everybody's a human on this planet, and sure, all the people out there that are selfish and really do things for their own best interest and never consider anybody else, you're in the wrong. You're in the wrong. I've been a selfish person before, and I've been catching up with that karma. Like, it's gonna catch up to you if you're one of those people. And so that's kind of where I feel like you're going with this, is like, you know, like, it's okay that people are different, that we think differently, and like our friend group, for example, like we're also different and have different opinions, and they're completely, we're not the same, but yet we challenge each other, we disagree with each other, but we still have respect and love for each other.
Well, that's this group, but you can't go out in the mass society and do the same thing, because you will be scrutinized or chastised, or I mean, you can't go out in society and just say what you want anymore. I'm not saying go out there and just be mean, but if you have an opinion or a belief in the way you're supposed to do something, and somebody disagrees with, again, I mean, it's getting into something deeper than, you know, it's just, you know. But right now, everybody needs to get along. You asked a simple question, I'll give you a simple. Everybody needs to get along. Stop taking everything so serious. Like you said, we're all human beings, and, you know, not everybody needs their own little safe box. You know, I mean, eventually everybody will grow together and...
So get out of the safe box.
Yeah, get out of the safe box. I mean...
That's the advice for humanity right there.
Yeah.
Get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, we've been kind of coddled a little bit over the last 2 years. Yeah. I mean, even going back further than that. But I think, you know, the pandemic really kind of amplified that a little bit, of just stay home, everything's good, you know. We're going to bring it to e-commerce, you name it, right?
I mean, I have nothing against anybody. I don't care about gender stuff. I don't care about, you know, anything. You know, what your sexuality. I don't care about any of that kind of stuff. But I don't think anybody should be able to voice their opinion on anything and get shunned for it. You know, if there's a sexuality thing or a racial thing, or nobody should be put down for their belief. I mean, everybody has an opinion, right or wrong, and somebody has a belief, right or wrong, but they should be able to speak that. You know, I don't think just because somebody says one thing, it's preaching a negative message. It's just either they need to be educated more, or it's their opinion.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think we're getting to a point where it's getting to a point where it's getting hard for people to express their opinions and their beliefs because they're afraid to being one of the bad guys. Like I said,
Yeah, I
the
mean,
comfort box.
I can totally go. I could rant on this. This could be like a 30-minute extra conversation, but to simplify it, like, there's always going to be a contrasting opinion. There will always be somebody that disagrees with you. Like, that's a consistent in life. And so if that's going to upset if that's upsetting you, that somebody has the opposite polar opinion that you do, then like, and you're allowing that to upset you, like, you're allowing somebody else's energy and opinion to then influence your own life and influence your emotions and how your day's going.
Exactly.
And that is weak. And I'm just saying that out of all due respect, but that's weak. Because if you were truly, solidified in how your belief system works and your views of reality, then it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. If anything, that should fuel your flame. But if you're really going to be a humble person and you're really not one of those selfish people that does things only for intent to help themselves that we talked about earlier, if you're not one of those people, then you're going to do things in a way that is humble. Like, be humble about... See, that's the thing. That's where I have a huge problem. You may disagree with somebody's opinion, and that's fine. But when you're going to sit here and bitch about it all day long, and bitch about somebody having a different opinion, and it's ruining your day, and get so like, like, nuh-uh, not this time, like, this is the right way, like, then you're being ignorant, because there's a bunch of right ways. There's a bunch of right ways, and your way isn't the only right way. And so that's that's how I'm going to encapsulate that as quickly as I can, because that's something I could totally just go off on, dude.
Right. I mean, we can sit here all night long and talk this discussion, and everybody can get their views and what they're talking about. But just to talk about one point, it was like the one thing I want to say is, like, not saying that you should just think about yourself, but it is about yourself. I mean, you go to work, you do it for you, and everybody wants to better themselves, and that's what people need to focus on. I mean, there's a lot of shit changing in the world right now, and not all the words are always going to be right, and not all the, phrases. I mean, nothing's going to be right. People got to give it time. I mean, you got to give it time. Don't be so eager to spout out and, scrutinize the, Again, I suck with words. I don't know what to say.
No, we all have to be a little selfish to take care of ourselves and our own needs and like make sure we're good to go. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're in that position, like, you need to remain humble. Like you need to, like, understand that you hold your own position. But, like, just because somebody disagrees with you, like, it's so silly, man. Because there's tons of religions. Just using religion as like a point of example, like, there's so many religions and wars fought over religion and crusades and all this shit. And it's just like, if they just accepted for that other religion to, like, do their thing. But that's the thing. Humans can never be peaceful. I mean, I'm going down a rabbit hole now. But I like the advice that you had for humanity. And let's all get out of our boxes a little bit. Let's get comfortable being uncomfortable. Yeah. And treat each other with respect, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's just normal. I mean, everybody's going to be uncomfortable. Because we're in a society right now where people are afraid to say a single word. Like, you can't call somebody a guy or a girl, or I'm going to the men's room or the women's restroom, or you can't say black or white. You can't say Mexican or white. You can't say Japanese, China. I mean, you can't say anything. You can't assume anything. Yeah. Assumption isn't a bad thing. It's the brain trying to figure out what's the best route, and that's education. I mean,
an assumption is not bad as long as you stay open-minded enough to be corrected if needed, because you're assuming.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some people, they come from a different place. They're not gonna, the inner city is it's a rabbit hole. I mean, we could start a whole.
I know.
Whole nother thing.
What do you think, Kevin?
Well, I think you hit on some good points. So I mean, that's really what it is. We're in a position now where it's like, do we be honest or do we be sensitive?
Right.
Because here's what I'm thinking, but I don't want to necessarily say something that might be a little bit out of boundary, right? So we're kind of dancing that fine line of what's accepted and what's reality. And I think for us, echoing on your point, being kind, just being you, bringing it back, right? But even that can be in check sometimes. So
Yeah, but at the same time, I mean, freedom of speech, I don't think it meant to be mean to other people.
no, of course not.
Yeah,
and
Be
that's
respectful.
Yeah.
be respectful,
humble.
and that's
Be humble.
that's what's
I
crazy.
mean, there's freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. I mean, don't get me wrong. Because I don't want to go on your guys' podcast and being totally...
People understand. Like, we're not going extremist here.
You can say some. I mean, you have every right to say whatever nasty thing is on your mind. Is it acceptable? Is it cool? No.
right.
None of us in this room think it's acceptable or cool. But at the same time, we have that freedom to say whatever we want. You may not get the best reaction. We're talking about different things. I'm talking about if I'm like trying to talk to somebody and I worded it wrong or phrased it wrong or looked at it wrong, somebody gets offended. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, we're in a spot right now where, there's not a lot of
Walking on
communication.
eggshells with communication.
Yeah, there's not a lot of communication.
Well, and it's crazy too because so many things that we're so used to saying to each other and just natural dialect and going throughout our day-to-day business becomes offensive all of a sudden. Like, well, wait a minute, you can't say that anymore because somebody might not take that too. That might upset someone's day.
Yeah, fuck that.
Your position
no,
on that.
That's weak. Like, if you're, like, I'm sorry, guys, and I've said this before on this podcast, I'm going to say it again. If you are allowing anybody else's opinions to influence your personal emotions and upset you and ruin your day, then you are being reactive. You are not proactively yourself or have self-confidence in a way where, like people could say that I'm fat-looking. People could say that I
never
stutter
once
a
said
lot. No, but that's the thing, though, is, like, it could go on and on and on, bro, but it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks because I have my inner strength and I've solidified myself to me, and it doesn't matter.
Well, what we're talking about
is
we're talking about a debate. A healthy debate is good.
well,
And when there's
yeah.
a healthy debate, people should be allowed to say whatever they want to say, and everybody should walk away with a mature attitude of whatever words were said, whatever conversation was about. I mean, it's a debate. It's a healthy debate.
Yeah, and okay, so is modern times getting away from being able to debate about
Yes.
anything?
Yes.
Or is there... Yeah, it's a slippery slope, bro, because when you take away the debate process and actually being able to talk about serious things...
Yeah, you start to X out any other possibility of
Well,
discussion.
there's still debates out there, but there's people that are going to be singled out and being people that's going to be kicked aside that are doing that kind of stuff, like saying words, straightforward, and that they're going to be like they're not sensitive to the subject, or it all comes a full circle.
So like, let's say, for example, you're dealing with somebody that's insensitive to a subject, and, like, I'm getting offended by their insensitivity. Like, let's challenge ourselves. This is the challenge this week, is let's challenge ourselves to respectfully educate people. Respectfully.
Arthur,
You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
people with great blue eyes like yours, their vision is worse.
Stop. Just stop.
No, I'm saying their vision is worse because the pigment is lighter. They can't see as clear.
No.
You know,
What are
that's-
you saying right now? That, like, what do you mean my vision's worse with... What is
Perfect
he...
example.
Kevin has blue eyes, too. So you should be equally
Only
offended
one's
by
open
this, Kevin.
right now. No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it takes one thing to single a group of people out, and
Yeah, I
you know.
almost got immediately triggered right there.
right. That's
See,
all
so,
I'm saying.
So it's so easy, but, like, I know you're playing, and look, it's always harder when it's live action. It's always harder when you're being, like, that's why we need to talk about this stuff. That's why we need to think about this stuff on our own time, and like, that's the challenge. Everybody out there, if you're being put into a circumstance where you feel like your belief system is being challenged or something of that nature, then respectfully educate the person why you believe what you do. But the key word is respect. I don't know.
I still think anybody should be able to say whatever they want in a respectful
I agree
way
with that.
in a conversation or a debate. I mean, and not be afraid to say a single word or, whatever, and debate about what's going on, in the world. And it's just not that way.
Yeah, I mean, even if it doesn't turn into debate, I agree with you, Jamie. People should be able to speak what is going on. Hey, I don't agree with this situation right now with this, that, or the other. It's okay to put that out there, but all of a sudden, because you don't agree with it, it's like, well, you're automatically this.
Yes.
You're a piece of shit. You think this way.
There's too many labels down there. Everybody's so eager to label something, and everybody wants to be a part of a new group.
Right.
Everybody wants to stand out, and
Yep.
it's just the way it is. That's a great question. Look where it went. That was a half hour right there.
We have a lot of challenges in life right now.
Yeah, we do.
And honestly, if you're not taking your challenges head on, then you're gonna end up getting your ass kicked. And that's how life goes. I'm sorry, everybody out there, but this is not an easy journey, and you have to show up every single fucking day and do it every single fucking day.
You have to show up on time, and you have to work for it, and you have to go and get it.
100%.
It's not going to be given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And again, opening up a fucking can of worms or a rabbit hole, everybody thinks that everybody's entitled nowadays. I mean, everybody wants something without doing anything. And that's, and it's terrible right now, and that's my opinion,
I agree with it.
And
Yeah, I agree with it. I mean, that's just kind of unfortunately where the mainstream mentality is, and I think it's good for us to promote outside opinions to, hey, that's not where we need to be, right? It's not going to hurt anybody. Get out of that mentality. Let's keep moving forward. Let's keep working hard, because hard work pays off.
right.
It's not gonna be
Look
fucking
at
handy.
you guys. I love all your fans. I know they got positive attitudes,
We got
Here
the
we
best
are.
listeners in the game, Jamie.
I know. Here we are. And they want to see me. I mean, you guys wouldn't on.
Dude, we wanted to see you for sure.
I mean, you guys wouldn't have me on here if they wouldn't want to see me. There was one
They wanna see
time.
you.
There was one time when you had the most views because I was on.
I
That's
remember
true.
that.
That's
there
true. I
was
do remember
there
that.
was a time. So,
Jamie broke records on
Yeah.
DCPC, bro,
Yeah,
for sure.
well, and he's broke records in DCPC that will never be broken again. Just
Yeah.
in the sense of where we started and how we got here.
Man, what an honor.
It just never ends with me.
It's such an honor. Look,
I love you, man.
We're gonna continue talking all night. Obviously, we love Jamie to death,
Yes.
man. He is our brethren. He is our family. Kevin, you're my family too. All the listeners, we love you guys so much.
I want to say thanks for all you guys listen to these two gentlemen. This is what we used to talk about
Yeah.
before these guys had a podcast. We had a conversation and maybe a debate, and it was very mature.
Mm-hmm.
And it just proves that people can, of course, we didn't get into deep and all details and everything, but we've had these conversations where it was deep, and none of us ever wanted to rip each other's heads off.
But we've all challenged each other too.
Of course we did.
And,
I mean,
and
that's
how
why
it
it's called a
should be.
debate.
That's how it should be.
Exactly.
Approached with respect. Respectfully educate. That's the challenge this week. We all need to respectfully educate people.
Yes.
Couldn't agree more, man. And yeah, I mean, it's so fun to have you back in the studio, Jamie, in the new studio.
I'm honored that you guys wanted me back.
Well, I
Even
mean,
though I like hassles you to get me in there. But
I think it was that right time, it was about a year ago that we exited the basement, which we've never forgotten. Everybody that ever stepped foot in there loved it. They're like, man, this is awesome. It was great energy. It helped us fucking get this thing to where we're at now, and we're never going to forget that. Jamie Rourke's always going to be a part of DCPC going forward. 100%.
DC,
Yes.
DC. I mean, here we go.
That's where it all
Let's go.
began. Where it all began.
Where it all began. Listeners, we love you, and we're gonna catch you next week.
Oh yeah, it's going
We'll be
down.
back.
We got a great episode lined up next week for you guys. Sarah Christine just coming off the South by Southwest tour down in Austin, Texas. She's going to be live action in studio. We're excited to sit down with another musician. It's going to be so much fun.
Jamie,
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Love you, man.
You guys fucking rock my brothers.
Be good
let's
to yourself.
go.
You deserve it.
Yes.